Just go on Twitter and put in "my YouTube channel was hacked" and you will see a flood of YouTubers trying to get the attention of Team YouTube in order to help restore access to the YouTube channels because they have been hacked. In spite of the fact that they've had two-factor authentication activated on their Gmail accounts. Now recently I myself have been a victim of cybercrime. My Gmail account was nearly compromised and my YouTube channel was nearly compromised too. So this means that both my Gmail and my YouTube channel was nearly hacked. However, thanks to Microsoft Defender, yeah, you've heard that correctly, thank you to Microsoft Defender, then I was able to prevent Redline Stealer from obtaining all my details and hacking my YouTube channel. So let's talk about how the hacker is hacking these YouTube channels of late. Okay, so the first thing what these hackers are doing is they're using a term called social engineering. So what do we mean about social engineering? Well, if you think about it from a hacker's point of view, it's very hard for them and very time consuming if they have to hack your computer themselves. So that means they've got, basically hack your entire operating system in order to, install malware onto your system. But it's a lot easier if they could get you to do it for them. And that's where the term social engineering comes about. Now, in my term, I'll tell you my story. So the way I was social engineered in the attempt to install Redline Stealer onto my computer was I received an email from a so-called game developer who wished to purchase advertising space on my videos. Now, did I have any red flags? Not really, and the reason being is because I myself have, struck deals with companies in the past. As a matter of fact, I ended up working from home for 5 years with a company who I met online. So striking deals on the internet is nothing really new to me. But this time, it turned out to be a scammer, a hacker, a cybercriminal, call it what you may. But again, this same type of scam is being used and is being used very successfully, and a lot of YouTubers is losing access to the YouTube channels in spite of the fact that they have two-factor authentication established on their Google systems, the Gmail accounts. So let's talk about my story. So what happened? So one day I get an email actually it was about, let's say, 8 days ago. So about 8 days ago, I got an email in my account and it basically said, hey, I'm a gaming developer and I wish to, purchase some advertising space on your YouTube videos. Would you be interested? So I said, you know what? Yeah, I would be interested in this. So they replied back to me and he said, yeah, this is great. So here is a link to the video. Have a watch of it and tell me what you think. If you're interested, reply back to me and, we can go forward with this deal. So this video he was talking about was being hosted on Google Drive. Now, again, was there any red flags with me? Not really, because Google Drive belongs to Google. And, being Google, one of the biggest technology companies in the world, you can 100% think you can trust it. So there was no red flags there. So I clicked on it and I seen a Winrar file. And I downloaded this Winrar file, put it on my desktop, and then extracted the contents of the Winrar file. Within that Winrar file, I seen a Word document, and this Word document had in it, I think it was conditions of offer or something like that, and it also had a SCR file, which was pretending to be the promotional video. Now, I've never seen an SCR file in my life. So the first thing what I thought to myself was, well, I don't have any software to my knowledge that will be able to open a SCR file. Now, I thought, because being a content creator, I'm thinking on the lines of MP4 files and MPEG files. Basically, I'm thinking video formats, and I've never came across the SCR files being a video format. So I just double clicked it, and as I double clicked the SCR file, I had this pop-up come up on my screen. Now I can't remember what the error message was, but it was followed by that rude, noise that Windows tends to make when it doesn't like something. And it was asking me if I wanted to make changes to the hardware system. Now I clicked the X button and came out of it. I thought, I'm not going to be making any changes to my operating system whatsoever. And then what I noticed about the SCR file was it started to, basically disappear into my... Basically, it kept on disappearing from the folder which it was extracted into. And I thought this was a bit strange. Anyway, I just forgot about it, went about my business for the day. And later on, I was talking to my friends who I play online games with. And he said to me, Gareth, it is because basically my friend, he works in technology. And he basically said, Gareth, it is possible that this could be a scam. And I thought to myself, okay, I took his advice on board. And later in that day, I went back and I realized that I still had no reply from this person who, I'd replied back the email to, saying, hey, can you send this video over to me in a MPEG format because I can't open SCR files. So I've not had any, reply back from this guy. So I thought, okay, let's have a look at what an SCR file was. So I googled what an SCR file was, and I found out that it stands for screensaver. Then I later learned that it's also an executable file. So an SCR file is a bit like a .exe file. So that now started sending alarm bells off in my head, because I later found out that SCR files are used by hackers, scammers, cybercriminals in order to change, your operating system. So the first thing I done was I then done a search on the guy who sent me the email, and it was a guy claiming to be McDowell Warren. So, and then when I searched McDowell Warren, then I seen that companies were complaining and warning their fans that McDowell Warren is a scammer, cybercriminal who is targeting YouTubers. So what I done next was I went to Windows Defender and I went to scan my computer. But prior to doing that, I went to the history to see if Microsoft Defender had detected anything. And lo and behold, Microsoft Defender had discovered the virus that I had downloaded onto my computer. And it was in fact quarantined, and it was in fact called Redline Stealer. So that explained why it kept disappearing from the folder what I had extracted it to. So what had happened was when I downloaded the SCR file, it disappeared into quarantine. And because it disappeared and I couldn't work out why, I downloaded it again. But Microsoft Defender had quarantined it again, so it disappeared again. And this went on because, of course, I had kept on downloading it. So now I had Microsoft Defender confirming to me that Redline Stealer is a virus or malware, and it is of severe risk to your operating system. So once I now understood what Redline Stealer was, I then proceeded to find out more information about Redline Stealer. And when I googled Redline Stealer, I discovered that Redline Stealer is being used by cybercriminals in order to hack YouTube channels, in spite of the fact that YouTubers have two-factor authentication activated on their Google Gmail accounts. So right guys, in this video you have now learned that my YouTube channel was, you basically learned that I was a victim. Sorry, you have learned in this video that I was a victim of cybercrime. My YouTube channel was nearly hacked, my Gmail account was nearly hacked, etc. And I've also learned that the software being used by the cyber criminals to hack my Gmail account and my YouTube channel is called Redline Stealer. Now, in the next videos, we're going to be talking about what exactly Redline Stealer is and just how it is being used by cyber criminals to hack your YouTube channels. Okay, so again, guys, the next videos coming up will be about what is Redline Stealer and how it's being used to compromise your YouTube channels. And the third video we'll be talking about, when I make it, will be techniques what you can use or employ in order to prevent hackers hacking your YouTube channel. So we'll be talking about steps in later videos about what you can do to prevent cyber criminals from hacking your YouTube channel. And we'll also be talking about what else you can do even if cyber criminals hack your YouTube channel. But for this video, I'm going to sign off here. All you need to know again, guys, is that my YouTube channel, there was a attempted hack on it. They have been unsuccessful. So guys, I'm great to be able to talk to you again and let you guys know that I'm still in control of my YouTube channel. So guys, yeah, let's move forward. The next videos will be as mentioned, and then we will be getting back to the videos what I love to make. Okay guys, see you all shortly.